I once did 10 births in 12 days. It was early March, and there were some February babies, and there were some March babies. There were a few April babies, and one very early May baby who just couldn't wait to be born. In fact, this was so harsh that my husband would meet me at the door with peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And someplace in our archives, we have a picture of me half asleep with peanut butter and jelly sandwich in my mouth, not chewing. That's when I learned something that I want you to understand that what keeps you in this business is what you do those first few hours after a birth. Hey, I'm Robin Elise Weiss. I've been a birth doula for over 30 years and I've trained more than 10,000 doulas. And I want to talk to you about the routine that I do after every single birth. And it's called the Doula Reset Routine. This 333 plan, your brain, your boundaries, and your body, are the things that you need to take care of after every single birth. This is not as simple as self-care. Self-care makes it sound optional, or some people will even say, right, that it sounds indulgent. It's not. It's what keeps you from burning out and keeps you working as a doula for longer than 5 years. So let's talk about body first. As soon as I leave the birth, I am going to drink some water. Now, I usually have some water in my car. I may stop to get some water, but I always, right at the hospital, fill my water bottle up or even buy a water if I need to, but I need to make sure that I am well hydrated. Now, when I get to my car, I have a special little plastic bin that I put my birth shoes in. I look a little bit like what one of the labor and delivery nurses call Mrs. Rogers, right? Like I'm taking off my sweater and I'm changing out my shoes to get in the car. Because let's face it, doula shoes, hospital floors, they see lots of different things and none of them are good. Amniotic fluid, blood, gosh only knows what, right? Take your shoes off ASAP. Now, I will say, if for some reason the kids have been in my car, which sometimes happens, and my little bucket is not in there, I will take my shoes off by the door when I get home, but take your shoes off. Now, if I'm on my way home, and sometimes I will stop for food or sometimes I will stop for a drink, I like a warm hot chocolate, kid size, warm, no whipped cream. I do want to be able to sleep later that day. Now, when I get home, I want to immediately go to my washer. I take my clothes off, I throw them in the washer, and I start the washer. Again, blood and body fluids, right? Sweat. Sometimes it's my body fluids. And I have a series of robes because, yes, sometimes they're dirty, hanging on the back of the laundry room so that I don't have to streak through the house. And then I hop in the shower. Now, I will tell you, I love to take a good long shower. Even when I'm exhausted, that shower gives me a few minutes to just let my brain decompress. I actually like to sit in the shower. And one of the things that I will tell you is that I want to sit in the shower to the point where one day I just sat on the floor. My husband came in, saw me sitting on the floor, and he panicked. He thought I'd fallen. And then that sweet man bought me a shower stool, which is sometimes already in the shower before I get home from a birth, and it doesn't live there. So that means he's thinking about me while I am gone. And the next thing that has to do with body, and this is an important one, is the sleep decision. You have to be really wise about when you sleep after a birth. If you go to bed too early, you're going to wreck your routine. If you stay up too late, right, again, you're going to wreck your routine. So I have some soft rules. If I've been up all night and I get home and it's early morning, like before noon, I will take a 2 to 3 hour nap and then I will get up and try and stay up at least until 8 or 9 o'clock at night. Now, if I get home at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm going to try and stay up until about 7 or 8 o'clock at night until I can go to bed and then sleep mostly overnight. So I'm going to think about what time of day is it? How soon will I be going to bed? How long have I been up? And those are some of the things that I want you to think about. These are going to be things that are going to be really particular to you and how you sleep. So play around, find what works well, but don't assume it is always go to bed and sleep for 8 hours. Sometimes taking a little bit of a nap just to get you through the next few hours until you can get to bedtime may get you back on your routine faster. And that's how I take care of my body. The next piece of this is your brain, and this also starts in the car on the way home. I will start my notes app and set it to voice dictation, and I sit it down on the dashboard and I just talk about the birth. It is not necessarily in chronological order, and there are a lot of times where I start and stop, and I'll be like, oh, and this is one where I don't edit myself out. I'm going to say all the things that I think about, funny things, serious things, statistics things, notes, things I want to remember. I'm going to clean it up later. This is for me. This is a brain dump. I want to put all the things I can down there. This is what is going to eventually help me turn my brain off. And so a lot of doulas talk about that racing mind after birth. I am going to even say, oh, I was so angry when this happened, or I was really frustrated when we couldn't find, or whatever it is that happened. I'm going to express those things. So I have said it and I can forget it, at least for right now, at least in terms of my recovery. And so I'm going to do that on the way home. It will keep me awake and it will also get all of that out of my brain. Now, once I'm home, it is time to put the phone down, right? I'm hopping in the shower. And then if I'm going to bed, whether it's for a nap or whether it's down for a long haul, or whether it's just resting on the couch until it is bedtime, I need to find something other than just doom scrolling on my phone. There was a study recently that said they decreased people's usage of their phone, whether they were adults all the way to teenagers, by simply having them say every time they picked up their phone what they were going to do with it when they picked it up. Send a message, check a text, scroll Instagram, whatever it was. And even saying it helped them learn to put it down. So stop doom scrolling, read a book, watch a TV show, call a friend, right? Paint, do whatever, but put the phone down. Save your brain. Some people want to use things like meditation or pink noise, whatever is helpful. Music is a great way. If you have the physical energy, right? The movement of something like yoga or light movement like taking a walk can help you shut that brain down as well. So those are also physical things that may help you with sort of that spinning brain if that is part of your problem. And the third B is boundaries. And particularly that day after the birth, you really need to protect your boundaries. One of the things that I encourage you to do is, right, there's always that next client ready to call. And I want you to, whether it's the same day or whether it's the next day, ask yourself, do I need a break? Should I call in my backup? Right? Even if you send your backup to the birth for a few hours while you can get a little bit of rest and then go to the birth, you and your client are going to be much better off. So do consider how to constructively use that backup. I want you to think about your boundaries and protecting that next day after birth. Yes, we get that first day and a lot of people are really understanding, but also think about what could you do in the day following the birth. We want to make sure that you are not just powering through, right? Again, we're trying to set you up for sustainable work. The other thing I want you to think about is what other doulas do. So when I ask in my community, right, what doulas did to pamper themselves or to protect their boundaries or to give themselves a little bit of a treat. Some people mention things like they include a massage for themselves into their fee that they set for every client, knowing that one birth equals one massage. Other people said they do things like order soup that will be delivered for them before they can even get home. So they have warm soup waiting for them. You have people who are, thinking about therapy, right? Adding it to their bill, right? As part of what they charge, but making sure that you build that time to replenish yourself, right? Your brains, your body, and your boundaries are going to be important. So that's it. That is the 333 Doula Reset Routine. As I said, I've been doing this work for 30 years. I've trained over 10,000 doulas and I've worked with thousands of other doulas. And one of the things I can tell you is that it's not the doulas who muscle through it who are still here. It is the doulas who take care of themselves, their brains, their body, and their boundaries. You need to figure out what your version of the shower stool is, what foods nourish your body, and what things will help your brain shut down and where your boundaries are if you're going to make this work sustainable for you. I would love to hear what you do after a birth to make this work sustainable for you. Please feel free to drop it in the comments. And if you haven't hit subscribe, please do so to see more videos like this. And I will see you in the future videos.